5 on this Monday, and we are continuing our special week of covering stories on how you can prepare yourself for the worst, preventing floods, escaping fires, and today, surviving being lost in the woods. Megan Boykoff is live in Missoula this morning to tell us how. Hi, Megan.
Hi, Becky. Well, I spent a lot of time with survival expert Trenton Harper building a shelter and starting a fire. There are a couple important things that you should make sure you do if you find yourself lost in the woods, and the lesson got pretty interesting. Take a look.
They're super tangy.
Finding food is an important part of surviving the woods, and Trenton made it clear that almost any source of food, no matter how small, would have to do.
Come on, try it.
I'm lost in the woods. I'm lost in the woods. Oh my God, it's still moving. I need to do it. It's actually really good. And there's nothing better to wash down a nice juicy ant with than water. Finding water is vital for obvious reasons. You can't survive too long without it.
The books will say 3 days, but if you've ever gone a day without drinking anything, you're going to be really miserable. So water's a really immediate priority.
We followed the hill down until we came to a stream. That's when I fell in. Remember, if you're lost in the woods, becoming one with nature is bound to happen. Took off my jacket, but I think this is an important lesson.
In cold weather, especially if you end up wet, especially if you're wearing cotton, you can end up hypothermic within maybe an hour to a couple hours.
All right, so falling into the creek was not ideal, but I found my water source, and that's definitely a survival priority. Helping search and rescue find you is just as important. A rule of thumb to find a way out of the woods is to
go downhill and then follow water down.
But this world run by technology has people thinking differently.
You know, in search and rescue operations, we find people going uphill because they're trying to use their cell phones. Men, don't try to hike yourself out if you're lost. It's better just to stay put.
After a day of falling into a freezing creek, eating ants, and learning how to signal for help, Trenton left me with these final pieces of advice about positive perseverance.
There are people who survive just horrendous things, and they're not all big, burly, ex-military people.
Harper tells me that staying positive and really believing that help is still on the way is just as important as the fire and the food. Live in Missoula, I'm Megan Boykoff for Wake Up Montana.
And I am positively impressed with you, Megan, for eating that big juicy ant. Way to go. All in the name of journalism. Thanks for that. The time now is 6:47. We'll be right back.